period. So 5 prices. So in the past, let's say that's 3 years, and we divide all the price change into segmentation of 50 minutes. So we have how many? Like 20,000 or 200,000 data points. And each data points we have 5 prices. And for every 6 months or every 2 months, we read in this like an image, and then give an output of a prediction. For training, the prediction will be, well, what actually happened after this 6 months, the 2 days after this 6 months. And then we just roll the window for every 50 minutes. And then in the end, we get a model that once you get a 6 months of data, and it will output the most likely price in the next 2 days. And then you can make an investment decision based on this prediction. That's the idea. Are you still with me?
Who's working on this beside you?
Myself, nobody else.
Well, I think I shared with you my initial reactions when I hear you talk about that.
Uh-huh.
Well, if I talk math level, the assumption is that it's predictable pattern. Right?
Not necessarily.
Well, okay, wait. Let me tell you what. If you did this same thing for the spin of a roulette wheel, you could also collect millions of data points. You could spin a million roulette wheels for the whatever the 6 weeks or whatever beforehand, and you could develop all sorts of complex patterns in those results, and you can predict what's going to be the next number. And if we assume that these are fair roulette wheels, you'll be wrong. You'll lose money. You'll lose your shirt. So if that's your method to make money, and so that's my number one belief. My belief is that you're finding patterns in the results of roulette wheels, and you would lose your shirt doing this. That's my first.
So you didn't pay attention to my 2 assumptions.
No, I did pay attention. I'm saying I don't accept your assumptions. I'm saying your assumptions are wrong.
Well, why? I mean, it's let's say it's a dynamic between a huge amount of people there, right? People make decisions based on a lot of things, but we can say that it's mostly about math psychology. And
right.
there has to be some pattern there.
Well, that's the same thing that people. Do you know the game Baccarat?
I don't know, but
Okay.
roulette wheel.
I'm sorry.
Easy. If you're talking about roulette wheel, I know that. Yeah.
Right. Well, you sound like okay. Baccarat is very famous with Asians. Okay, so if you knew anything about gambling, right? Baccarat is the number one famous game with Asians, and they get into it and they say everything that you're saying. But Baccarat is 0% skill. It's 100%. They just give you cards and you turn the card over, and that's it. You don't get to change cards. You don't get to make any decisions. The only thing that the player does is turn the card over. That's it. That's it.
But then
you don't even wager. I mean, you can wager, but you can't. There's no predictability. But they say exactly what you're saying. They're saying there's got to be patterns to it.
Roulette wheel or whatever card game, you don't really participate. You don't change it. But participate, you don't change the dynamic.
but that's your position here. Is you're not okay.
No.
So anyway, that's okay. I know your position. I don't want to try to convince you, right? So I don't want to try to change your mind. The second thing is, I actually did talk to my friend, my other friend Steve, and he's also into this high level mathematics, and he does financial modeling. He shared these books with me with these really complex formulas, and I had mentioned your idea to him, and I thought maybe he would want to talk to you about it. And he immediately dismissed it. He said, first of all, number one, already in Wall Street, there are people that are 10 times smarter than you who are doing exactly what you're thinking of doing. Two, not only are there people way, way, way smarter, they have, these are the type of people who literally would move their office 20 feet closer to the stock exchange just to get 1 millisecond faster high frequency trading information. They're not getting the information you're getting is already like useless from their perspective. And so if you think that you're going to be able to do anything that they're not already doing is another dream. It's a pipe dream. Because exactly what you're trying to do is you should go work for one of those companies in the high frequency trading firms or these quantitative investment firms.
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, his point is completely valid. I know that. And what I'm doing is basically replicate whatever someone implemented already back in 2021. There are papers, out there. I'm just replicating what they have done. But then, the market is different. He's talking about the stock market in the U.S., which, in my opinion, is a much more effective market. So, spotting opportunities would be difficult, very difficult. But here, in China market, that's a different story.
Right.
There are still low-hanging fruits to be reached with this technology. Yeah. That's the idea.
Well, you could also start, what you could probably do is set up this thing, and even if it's only marginally effective, but you could get people to invest with you, and you get part of their investments. You set up a hedge fund, and you would make 70% of your revenue is going to come from their hedge funds clients, and only 30% is actually going to come from your trading. But as long as you produce some returns, you'd get clients who would invest with you.
Yeah, could be. That's the idea. And also, well, the fact that he mentioned Wall Street traders are using this technology validates my point and invalidates your point.
Well, okay. Well, either way, I'm not. Okay. Yeah, that's great. So, in essence, I understand the idea. Well, I'm not convinced that they're actually very effective. To me, I still think it's just because what you just said doesn't invalidate my point. Because if you go to Las Vegas, there are many people who become millionaires going to Las Vegas. And then you would tell me, no, it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same, Gang.
Is different
No.
gambling.
That's your position. I'm telling you my position. My position is it is exactly like going to Las Vegas. Technical trading is no different than going to Las Vegas. And you're going to get some people who win, and you're going to hear about the winners, and you're not going to hear about the losers. It's the same thing as with.
Where did you get this idea from?
I'm saying that's the evidence that I have. Based upon the knowledge that I have, right? That's my position, is that technical traders, it's like managed mutual funds. Managed mutual funds do much worse than just a full index of the stock market. But managed index funds are popular because someone is pushing them and selling them. And an index fund is boring, right? And there are a few managed incomes funds that succeed. And so you get 10% that succeed and 90% that fail. But those 10%, they succeed enough that then they advertise and say, see, but then if you wait 5 years, those 10% also fail. You don't have a 30-year
No,
period. You don't have a 30-year period where they're succeeding. It's very rare. Very, very rare.
no. Actually, yes, it's difficult to beat the market, but that's exactly because there are so many different participants trying different methods.
I disagree. How come Warren Buffett was able to succeed for 50 or 60 years?
Well, how successful he is he the most
What?
successful?
He was. What do you mean? How
How
successful was
successful?
he? He's like number 4 richest person in the world. That seems quite successful to me.
Whoa, are these all traders?
No,
You have
his
to
point.
compare traders with traders.
No. His point is, if you want to be poor, you be a trader. If you want to be rich, you be an investor. That's his point.
Oh, there are only one Warren Buffett, and there are so many more traders, successful traders.
Wrong. Because there are probably 20 million traders, and of those 20 million, there's probably 100 million traders. Okay, but 90 or 95% of them all fail. And so if you've got so many millions of people, 5%, even 1%, you're going to hear about those people. But it's a failing way. But the people who follow Warren Buffett's way, it's
I mean,
probably 40% who succeed. Much
there are
higher
so
success.
many actively managed funds. What's the problem with that?
And they do worse than index funds. That's been analyzed. They do worse
Whoa,
than index
some
funds.
of them are worse.
The
You have to.
overwhelming majority.
Whoa, okay, get me a number. Get me the number. Overwhelming majority. The worse
Yes,
than the. Gee.
the overwhelming majority.
What's the
So here,
definition of overwhelming majority?
all right. Well, let me see if I can. Let me see if I can get this. Let's see if I can present this. We'll just do a quick. We'll do a quick analysis here on the. Here we go. Okay, perfect.
Mhm.
That's
No,
perfect.
I haven't seen your screen yet.
You can see it now.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? You can see it or no? Yes, you see it.
Yes, I see
Okay.
it.
All right. So we can ask some questions. I'll start a new one just to,
Don't you want to
here we'll
start
prep
with
them.
Google
You
instead of
are an
ChatGPT?
expert. I will just start here and then we can go there. You're an expert on financial investing, trading, and stock markets. We are interested in knowing the return on investment based on active trading versus index fund investing. There are, okay, well, just give us less than 10 sentences to start with what you know. We'll just,
I feel like this is the wrong question. You want to
fine,
know
fine,
the
fine.
facts.
I
You
know,
want to know
there's
the
lots.
facts instead of
Yes, I
opinion.
know. I know, we can ask lots of questions. I don't know what's going on. Why is it acting funny here? Oh, because hold on, I got to turn my VPN back on. Hold on. I was curious if this streaming would work with my VPN off, and it did. But let's see what happens if I get disconnected. So this, by the way, the StreamYard, you can stream to YouTube from China. So going to, because StreamYard's not blocked. Are you still there?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's why, hold on. Let's see if this will come through. I have to, that's why this wasn't working. Let me try and refresh the screen here. And yeah, I know this is, I just want to get it primed. I want to see what it says to start. That's why I said just 10 sentences. Okay. Higher risks. Okay. Okay. How many people in the US would you estimate can be called traders? Including day traders, professionals, and amateurs. Is there any clear definition of trader versus investor.
Well, of course. Gee.
There are several million individuals who engage in trading activities. Several million. Okay. Day traders versus, according to a report by the Fed, over 600,000 registered. So those are professional traders. Okay. Millions of retail investors. Okay. Exactly. So millions. Okay. So now let me see if I can. Okay. Okay. Great. So now hold on a minute. Great. When you say millions, is that closer to 1 million, 10 million, or 100 million?
Gee.
We have to know. It's closer to 10 million. Okay, great. So we have 10 million active traders. Now, now of these 10 million active traders, I want to create an estimate of their return on investment as compared to an index fund. What percentage of this 10 million do better than the index? Okay. Estimating can be challenging. Okay, here we go. There we go. 1 point. Okay, okay. This is underperformed by 1.5% annually. Say the average individual investment. Okay.
Yeah.
A significant majority. See, a significant majority actively underperformed the benchmark indexes. That only a small percentage, 10 to 20%, which is exactly what I said, outperform the market.
Oh, you said
right?
Overwhelming majority.
Right. I said maybe 10 to, I said maybe 10% are do better. So here we're not okay. So 10 to 20%. So 1 to 2 million. So exactly. So even if we even most generous, 20%.
That's still wrong. That's the wrong question.
Okay, what question do you want to ask?
20% of traders, not every trader manage their own funds. Like several traders work for one fund.
Okay, what question do you want to ask?
What?
What question do you want to ask?
Well, you probably want to formulate, you want to compare how many active managed funds have a better return than the SP index, for example.
Right. Okay. Well, then let's. Okay. Then we're no longer talking about traders. Okay. Let's change the analysis to mutual funds or other such funds like ETFs. How many actively managed mutual funds or ETFs are there in the U.S.? Okay. Okay. Mutual funds, 7,500. So 4 to 5,000 are actively managed. Okay. As most of them, they're around 5 to 7. Okay, actively managed. Okay, so here we go. 4,500 to 5,700. Great. Now, of these actively managed funds, ETFs, what percentage outperform the index?
Well, you have to specify a period, right?
Well, they've got reports here. They're going to do. They do report. They're going to report over one period. 30 to 40% outperformed. Over a 3-year period, dropped to 20-30. Over a 5-year period, only 15 to 20%, right? Over a 10-year period, 10 to 15%. So as time goes on, they start doing worse, right? So again, let's just say 20%. That's if we do a 5-year period, most generous 5-year period is 20%. That's the same as actively traders. That's exactly what I'm saying. So 80%. So my position is 80% of active traders and 80% of actively managed funds do worse than if you just bought the index. That's my position. This seems to support that.
That's your position.
The evidence here.
Overwhelming
right? If you want to ask
majority.
another question, 80% is overwhelming majority do worse. You ask a different question. You're seeing the same data I am. You ask a different question to get an answer to support your position. That's my position. All of the data that we just saw supports 80% are doing worse than an index fund. Right? Do you disagree with that result?
No, I don't disagree with the result.
80%,
I'm saying
that's like gambling.
that was not your position, and that's not an overwhelming majority.
80% is, wait a minute. What do you think the word overwhelming majority?
Yeah,
Majority
that
is
was the question I
51%.
asked you. What's your definition of overwhelming majority? And you didn't answer.
Okay. In English, 51% is majority. 66% is, okay, great. We can ask, okay, here. Then again, there are some common terms like majority, super majority, overwhelming majority, and then also something else. For all of these common terms, please put an estimated percentage number of what they mean. Okay, here are some common terms. Simple majority is 50% plus 1. Super majority is 60 to 75%. Qualified majority, 66%. Overwhelming majority, exactly, 75 to 90. 80% is an overwhelming majority. And unanimous. There's your English lesson for the day. Overwhelming majority means 80% is overwhelming majority. Anything above 75%. So the most common terms are super majority. So super majority is like 75%. That's a common term like in government and stuff, right? Qualified majority is like 66% usually. So these are overwhelming majority. 80% is an overwhelming majority. So that's what that word means. When I say overwhelming majority, 80%, it's the Pareto principle, right?
Yeah, it would be much more convincing. It would be much more convincing if you answered my question.
Which one?
Before that. Yeah.
Which question?
What's your definition of overwhelming majority?
I told you, 80%.
No, you didn't tell.
Yeah. Right. Okay. For me, the Pareto principle, the 80-20 principle, if you reach something that's 80%, that's overwhelming. The remaining 20% is negligible, right? You don't have to have 100% unanimous. Well, it depends on which direction you're looking for, right? It depends on what you're looking for.
It depends a lot on the context. If someone, if a shooter is able to shoot at a target 80%, and you see that's precision, would you say that?
You mean if they're successful 80% of the time?
Yeah.
Of course, yes, that's overwhelmingly successful. Yes, someone who can successfully shoot a target 80% of the time is an overwhelmingly successful shooter. Yes, of course. Yeah. That's very successful. I mean, that in sports, 30% is a very, very high percentage. You know, in baseball, if someone can hit the ball 30% of the time, they get paid millions of dollars. So, yes, 80% is a very high percentage. No question. No question about that. But so anyway, okay, so then, well, this one would be hard to say. But, you know, even on games that have skill like poker and things like this, I wonder what, let me look at that for professional poker. Now, I have a question about the popularity of professional poker, especially Texas Hold'em. There seem to be some people that make a living doing this. What percentage of professional poker players are actually able to be net positive in gambling winnings versus money from advertisers or sponsors?
What they do gambling for a living?
Yeah, of course.
Casinos?
You don't know that?
I don't know that. In casinos?
There we go. Perfect. Exactly what I say. They say 5 to 10% of these professional gamblers are actually able to make a living. They're able to be positively. And then here we go. Overall, 20%. There we go.
What exactly did you say? I mean, you say this a lot. Exactly what you say. Exactly what you say. I don't know what you say.
My point was that there are people who are gamblers, right? Who are playing gambling games. Not neural network, not, looking for, they think they're looking for patterns, but a large portion of it is gambling and luck. And their success rate is about the same as active traders, people who are trading in the stock market. 20% of active traders are able to beat the index. And
you want to be able to differentiate these different concepts, even they are all percentage. Okay, 20% of people is able to live on that. Doesn't mean they have a successful rate of 20%. It's different. It's hugely different. It also doesn't mean they have a successful rate of 80%.
No,
the calculation is quite complex.
No, the point is that 80% of them end up failing, right? 80% of them are not able to sustain a living based upon what they're doing every day because they're gambling. And even if they win $1 million at one game, they very quickly will lose that million plus more because they keep gambling. So they don't have a sustained system to be able to generate income, unlike an investor.
That's a known. I mean, that's like elementary math. I mean,
but that's my position. My position is that's exactly what you're proposing. That the chance of success of your algorithm,
it's different.
Okay.
Yeah. Because gambling, you don't participate. You don't change the rules. You don't change the dynamic by participating.
Well, yes, you do. In poker, you definitely do, because you can influence what other people bet. So you definitely do change the dynamic. So that's not true. Because how much I bet will impact whether or not you continue to play or not. And if you do continue to play, you'll have to match my bet. So I definitely am influencing the game, my actions.
Oh, then yeah, if that's the case, then that's why these 20% or 15% are able to make a living. Exactly. It's difficult, but possible. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think well, I mean, I know this is your so how close have you gotten with this?
I had difficulties preparing data because I have to download data from a website outside of China, and that process takes a lot of time.
But it's data about the Chinese market from outside of China.
No, right now I'm downloading Bitcoin price.
Okay.
Yeah, I will use Bitcoin price data. Is the data quality is better just for training purposes.
And then how are you using the goes this way? How are you programming? What are you using what language you use to program this?
Oh, Python, of course.
And is it already all programmed together?
What? I didn't.
I mean, have you already written the program? Have you already written the program to?
Part of it. Yes.
Okay. How many lines of code?
Not much, actually. I can let me have a Jesus. Okay, the server is gone again. Like 1,000, 2,000, something like that. Not.
Have you found some existing modules that you're able to use?
Yeah, of course you have to use a lot, like pandas, or PyTalk, a lot of
You're using Hugging Face to get to the LLMs?
What do you mean by LLMs? For this project, there's no LLM involved.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to use an LLM for this.
No, this is just convolutional neural network, CNN.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, quite traditional already. If you look up in the internet, you see this is the hot topic back in 2018 or 19.
Are you able to share your screen?
Yes, I can share my screen. How do I do that?
I have no idea. I don't know what it looks like on your side.
Present, share screen.
Okay.
Here.
Did you do anything? I didn't see anything come on my side yet.
Not yet.
Normally it would come up with
allow. Why is this grayed out? Oh, entire screen allow. Oh, jeez, I have to restart the computer to change this.
What?
Mac system has a.
You have to do some plug-in or something?
No, you have to restart.
Oh no, something's coming up.
No?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Now it's working. Switch to a different tab.
It's working, but only for this application. So if I want to share the whole screen, I have to restart.
What if you switch to a different tab? Oh, so just for that. Well, can you switch a different application?
Yeah, for example, can you see it? This is Excel. And this is
no, I can't see. I can only see your web browser.
Okay, yeah. Because
you have to share a different program instead of the web browser. Just go back to the share and just share one app.
No, no. The problem is with Mac, you have to restart to have the change of permission in place.
Yeah. All right.
What do you want to see?
Oh no, I thought you were going to show me. I thought you were going to show me your program.
Okay. My program is on the server, so it's yeah.
Can you get to it in your web browser?
Let me check. I can I switch this? Stop sharing, and then I share a different window. Share screen. And what can I do here? Can I see it?
Not yet. Maybe it takes a while to come through.
No? Do you see it?
Not yet.
Not yet. I'm sharing. It said I'm sharing.
Okay, maybe it takes a while to, but still nothing on my side.
Nothing.
You sure you're sharing?
Yes.
Go back in where you did before.
Sorry?
Because it came up on my side as one of the screen, as one of the options. At the bottom of in your browser window where you see us at the bottom, how many little windows do you see? I see 3. Do you see 3 or 4?
3 or 4. No. I see like 5 buttons.
Oh.
And then I see a small screen of me, and then another box that says you are in the show. Everyone can see and hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe stop and stop the screen and at the bottom and try again. Present again or something.
But I was sharing, and I was sharing the screen of this browser. It worked. It's the same
It did,
thing.
but it's not working now. Maybe stop it and try it again, because it's not coming in on my side to put it on online.
Okay. Whoa, why can't I share anything now? I press share and nothing pops up. I'm supposed to choose what I share.
click on present. On my side, it says present.
Yes, present and share screen.
Right.
And then share screen, and then there should a window pop up asking me to select from what I want to share. But then now there's nothing pop up. Share.
Oh, wait.
Huh?
Click on. The browser has blocked your screen. Click the screen icon in your address
My
bar
screen?
to allow access, then reload the page. Oh, no, okay, mine's, I don't know that.
No, I have nothing here.
Okay.
There should be pop up. Allow me to select what I present. What is
Mine
that?
works. That's my ChatGPT account.
Oh, okay. Oh, maybe because you're in sharing.
But I stopped mine. I stopped sharing and so I stopped my sharing. Mine's not sharing anymore.
Anyway, so cannot share. Eh? What? Oh, no, this is the wrong button. Present. Share screen. Nothing. Nothing popped up. If I do a setting, background.
Okay, so hold on a minute. I'm going to end the stream for a little bit, but we can still be here. So, hold on. I think it should be ending.